Hey, Curtis in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and with the help of my GoPro camera, I'm going to show you how I cut prescription transition signature 7 gray lenses with Crizal Alize for your new Ralph Lauren Polo. This is the model number 2070, color 5247 in the 54i size. Let me take everything out of the original packaging. Of course, your Italian leather Ralph Lauren Polo case, your Polo cleaning cloth, and the star of the show, the main attraction. We have the Polo 2070. Of course, it comes with a little plastic sleeve on the left temple to protect the temples from rubbing together while it is being shipped from Italy to me. And of course, I'm going to put all that on there when I ship from me to you. So you'll get all the manufacturer's original packaging, including the demo lenses, one of which it says Polo. Again, this is the Polo 2070, color 5247 in the 54i size. It is the matte black and platinum, my best-selling men's polo frame. And I'm going to go ahead and pop out the original demo lenses. Put those there for now, and again, you will be receiving all the manufacturer's original packaging so you can verify that it is the authentic real deal. So I'm going to place your frame into the tracing element of my edger and hit start. A little stylus is going to pop up, and it's going to go around and trace the shape of the right side of the frame before doing the same thing on the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy a genuine, authentic Ralph Lauren Polo frame and you'll receive 1 free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase, whether they are prescription or not. Curtis, you know you need prescription, and the only thing you did, you paid. Of course, you're going to get the free prescription lenses. You just paid the $54.99 to upgrade to the Transitions gray lenses, and you paid another $44.99 to upgrade to Crizal Alize. So that is the shape of the lens we will be cutting, only magnified. Let me minify that down to the actual size. That green outline is the shape that we will end up with. I'm going to magnify it while I'm working on it. Your pupillary distance is 32.5 in both eyes, which is perfect. My computer starts at 32.5. If it was higher, I would raise it up, but I'm going to bring it back down to that. I do want to raise the optical center height up for this frame. Now, I'm going to come down here and get your lenses prepped. This is my trusty Marco 101 lensometer. I'm going to put the, let me zero everything out. Yep, we're good. Put the power drum on -1 1/4. Take your first lens out of the protective sleeve. Of course, it has a little plastic laminate on the front of the lens to protect the lens from anything rubbing against it while it's being shipped to me. And if they think it's a good idea to do that, I'm going to place this on your finished lens when I ship to you. I'm just going to put that laminate on the wrapper for now. Now, your lens reads -1 1/4. In fact, let me highlight that for you. It actually says it twice because there's 2 ways you can write a prescription. This prescription is the same way, so I'm going to highlight that. And let me mark this as the right lens. And you're going to receive all this packaging too to make sure you're getting the authentic lenses. I'm going to put the lens in, find the optical center of the lens, and I'm going to put a dot on the center of the lens, and let's go ahead and label this one right. Although you're the same on both eyes, it could be left or right, it doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and take the left lens out of the protective sleeve. Take off the laminate that comes on the front of the lens. Place that on the wrapper, stick that in there. Find the optical center. And put a dot on the center of that lens. I don't need the outside ones. Let's see, we're going to highlight the prescription there, -1 1/4. And this will be your left lens. And if you missed any of that, let me recap. Oh, it's a bad joke, but you'll be telling that tomorrow. Oops, recap too soon. L. Okay, now we can do that. So, your lenses are done. Let me come back down here. Let's get all the packaging. Get all your stuff. We're going to come down here. I'm going to place your right lens onto the platform of my blocker. Your left lens goes here. Now, this is a block, or as I like to call him, Jenny from the block. I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting. So I need 2 double-sided adhesive stickers, of which I keep up here. The black side is the sticky side. I'm going to stick the first one onto this block, place that onto the platform, place the sticker onto this block, pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Now this little silver button on the back is a magnet. It's going to do its job twice tonight. The first time it's going to hold it in place into the arm, something magnetical there in the arm. Place that there. Now the reason I put that red dot on your lens is that I have to place it right there at the optical center. This blue cross is the geometric center of your frame. If you were to measure vertically and horizontally, the center is just that, dead center. Your eye is just above that and inset. So I'm going to get that lined up there in the optical center. Check one thing. Yeah, we're good to go. And once that is there, the orange crosshairs of a scope, I'm going to hit that button. The arm's going to come down and place the block onto the right lens. We're going to do the same thing now for the left lens. Place that onto the platform. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Line that magnet up here in the arm. Get that lined up in there. Your pupillary distance for your left eye, identical, 32.5. We're going to put that exactly where that goes and make sure it's in the crosshairs of the scope. Hit that button and the block's going to come down and be placed onto the left lens. Now this is the edger. This is what costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out, buy their own, put it on your kitchen counter. Then you can cut your own lenses at home and you won't need this guy anymore to do it for you. And I can actually take a night off. Just clean up as I go along there. These little stickers get everywhere. So this is the actual cutting wheel. It's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away your lens material until it's the final size. This wheel in the center with that channel, that little valley, that's what's going to put the bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. So, give myself a little more work room there. Let's go ahead and grab the lens. The magnet is now going to do its job a second time tonight. It's going to hold it in place into the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know this machine well enough to call it chuck. I'm going to hit the computer button that wakes the computer up. That is the shape of the lens we'll be cutting. These are polycarbonate lenses. If they were plastic, high index plastic or Trivex, I would select that, but we're going to stay with polycarbonate. I do not want to put a bevel, I do not want to polish the lenses, the edge of the lenses, because they're not going to be seen anyway. I do not want to put a bevel on the front surface of this lens, especially because of the transitions. I'm only going to put a safety bevel on the rear concave surface of the lens. And I'm going to hit the green arrow, which is start in every language. The door closes, the clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to be traced by 2 wide styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame. And you can see as it's going around tracing the shape. Then the old carpenter saying measure twice, cut once. It's measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the lens, so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing. I can move the bevel forwards or backwards. Now you're not going to have any edge thickness in this frame anyway, but I do cut free prescription lenses, very strong prescriptions, all day long, and that does come more into play when I ship all over the world. Now if you see light flickering in the background, that is water there to catch the sawdust, the optical sawdust that comes off of the lens as it flies off of the cutting wheel like that. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry, where plastic and high index plastic cut wet. Now water will spray onto the lens for the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle, just to wash away any optical sawdust that may be on the lens. Now these are the Essilor brand of polycarbonate lenses. Polycarb, they feel as light as air, so it goes by the nickname Airwear. The TR stands for transitions. The Roman numerals V11 per 7. GY is gray, but you don't have to believe the abbreviations. You can read it right here. The Transition Signature 7 gray lenses with Crizal Alize. Now polycarbonate is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. Your lenses are virtually unbreakable. They are bulletproof up to .22 caliber and have both UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin, so you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes, unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that you have to reapply every few hours when you're in direct exposure to the sun. This is permanent and never needs to be reapplied. Now if you notice, your lens is completely flat when it's done from the cutting wheel, just like a nickel. If I were to take it out now, it could stand up on the counter on its own. Now it's going to go down onto the bevel wheel, the center wheel, and it's going to get the V-shaped bevel applied to the lens. Now I'll demonstrate the transition function of your lens later, but the Crizal Alize Crizal anti-glare is 3 features in one. Here's a lens without the anti-glare. The first feature I was mentioned, it does eliminate glare when driving at night, particularly driving at night in the rain. But from street lights, stoplights, computer screens, overhead lights, my cleaning cloth, your cleaning cloth. Let me put that back up there. But it also is an anti-reflection lens. So if you hear the term ARC, it means anti-reflective coating. So when someone's looking at you, they're not looking at their reflection in your glasses, they're looking at just your eyes. So it makes for much better eye contact. Plus, if you take a selfie or if someone else takes a picture of you with a flash, you won't see the flash lit up in the lens, you'll see just your eyes. Now the third feature that I like, which is the practical side, is it comes with the industry's hardest scratch protection. Anti-glare, the machine that applies the anti-glare coating takes well over 24 hours to apply 7 different coatings. The machine itself costs over $1 million, so because of the time and the investment, they put the hardest scratch coating in the business on there to protect your time and your investment. So let me grab a paper towel. We're going to open up the chuck. I'm going to take the lens off and dry it off so it is not slippery. And we're going to see if it mounts into the frame. First time around, I just want to run around the edges with my thumbnail. I'm going to take your frame, tuck it in at the outside corner, push down at the nose, and it snaps right in. We're going to do the same thing for the left lens. We're going to flip that over to L, and we're going to place the lens into the magnetic holder and hit start. Just like before, the door closes, the clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that the lens is large enough to fit into the frame. And you can see as it's going around tracing the shape of the frame. And then the old carpenter saying measure twice, cut once. It's measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly where to place the bevel. So you have the least amount of edge thickness showing, and of course in this frame you have no edge thickness whatsoever based on the thickness of the plastic as well as the minor prescription that we're cutting. Again, I cut very strong prescriptions all day long for free, and that does come into play later on. So I'm going to go ahead and take this block off. It's no longer needed. I'm going to come back down here to my lensometer. I'm going to place the lens in just above that red dot and read the power on there, and I am getting -1 1/4. That is 1 tick mark away from 1. Now the unit of measurement we use in the optical world is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R. It starts at 0 and goes up from there, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1, 1 1/4. You are on the 5th rung of a ladder. You need 5 steps of correction for your nearsightedness. You are nearsighted with your glasses off. You can see up close great. Anything beyond arm's reach starts to get blurry. With your glasses off, everything is very magnified. That is why there's a minus sign. Your lenses minify down to the correct size. It's the opposite of reading glasses, which magnify objects. Your lenses will minify everything to the correct size. Now you have no astigmatism correction, which is the fine-tune knob. That's what astigmatism is, what makes 6s and 8s look alike, or the letters P and F. So all you need is the minification for far-sighted correction. Now the Polo 2070 sells for $179. Again, you paid the extra $54.99 for the Transitions Gray. You paid an additional $44.99 for the Crizal anti-glare coating for a total of $278.99. In just a moment, we'll check and make sure that the left lens is fitting perfectly. As soon as that is done, so it's on the bevel wheel now. In just a moment, water will begin spraying onto the lens. Look at that. And they say they never make you proud when you want. But it does that for the last 20 seconds just to wash away any optical debris. Optical sawdust, if you will. Now if you notice from the foreground coming into play is a lever. At the end of that lever is a spinning wheel, something you would find at the end of a Dremel tool. like a polishing wheel. That's applying the safety bevel to the rear surface of the lens. Again, you don't have any edge thickness protruding from the back of the frame, but should you have any, this is going to smooth it off where it's nice and smooth. Should it have any contact with the cheek? Of course, you will not. But as I mentioned, I cut strong prescriptions all day long, and that is more of a factor later. So the door is opening. I'm going to take the lens out of the chuck. We're going to dry everything off so it is not slippery. Run my thumbnail around to make sure there's no more optical sawdust on the edge of the lens. I'm going to take your frame. I'm going to tuck the lens in at the outer corner, and then using my thumbs press down at the nose, it snaps right in. I'm going to take this block off. We're going to come down here to the lensometer, place it in above that red dot, and we're going to inspect the powers of the left lens. And again, where'd my flashlight go? Where'd it go? I've got a smaller flashlight, I just can't find it. We're at -1 1/4 again, so that is cut perfectly. Now your pupillary distance is 65, 32.5 for each eye. I'm going to turn the card around. I'm going to place the 0 against my thumb on your right lens, and when we hold it up to the left lens, we're getting 65 millimeters, so that is cut perfectly. And this is the point in every video that as I clean your lenses, I want to mention that when you get these in the mail, and of course free shipping anywhere in the US, and the last time I checked, Grand Rapids, Michigan is in the United States, so free shipping. But when you get these in the mail, there is a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That is because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other, and because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But I'm part of that 80% too, and I'll show you in just a moment. Where's that sticking? Hang on, let me get this out of here. Let me get that out, clean that tissue off. Better to have tissue on your lens than tissue paper on your shoe. So that's that. Let me clean that off one more time. And of course, not only are you going to get your Polo cleaning cloth, and of course I left it up here so I wouldn't forget it, your Crizal anti-glare cleaning cloth, but you're also going to receive one of my own premium microfiber cleaning cloths. And I include instructions not only how to care for your eyeglass frames and lenses so they last you for a year, but I also give you instructions on how to care for all 3 of your cleaning cloths, as well as your case, how to clean this so it too will last you for years. No other seller on the internet is doing that. I also provide a photo request to have your picture on the website. Curtis, I would love to have you rocking these things with send me 2 pictures, one with them clear and one with them dark, and I would love to have your picture on the website. That way you can brag to your friends that you're a Polo model. But this is what your lenses look like while they are clear. I'm going to go ahead and expose them to a strong burst of ultraviolet light, causing the lenses to turn dark. And my little Transitions adaptive lenses box, which just has a strong UV light in there. But as you can see, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for transition lenses to darken. It takes, now this is important, Curtis, pay attention. All transition lenses will turn dark on day 1. Give them 2 weeks of exposure to the sun, and they will continue to get darker every day for the first couple weeks. Now, the only time they will not get dark is behind the windshield of your car. Your windshield absorbs all the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays, so your dashboard doesn't crack from sitting in the sun, and that's why transition lenses don't completely turn all the way dark in a car. Now, if you have a convertible or a motorcycle, they will darken. Now, they're also temperature sensitive, meaning they get darker when it's 85 degrees and below than they do when it's 95 and above. But I remind everyone, when it's triple digits outside, you're miserable, they're miserable. Nobody likes to work 100% when it's 100 degrees outside. So this is the first time they've been activated. Don't worry, Curtis, they're going to keep getting darker and darker. Come on, Curtis, we talked about this, don't you remember? But if anyone has any questions, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com or simply click the Contact Me button on the website. Curtis in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I hope you enjoyed watching as I cut the Essilor brand Transition Signature 7 gray lenses with Crizal Alize for your Polo 2070 color 5247 in the 54 eye size. And hopefully everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.